Hey everybody, it's Patrick from Inside Motorcycles, and I am here with one of the most famous Canadian racers and motorcyclists, Toni Sharpless. Tony's a longtime writer for Inside Motorcycles, a road racer with a resume that makes most people blush, member of the Canadian Motorcycle Hall of Fame. But today we're going to talk about the FIM MiniGP Canada, which Toni is the founder of. So thanks for taking the time, Toni.
Yeah, thanks, Patrick. Good to see you again.
So tell me about, I know, but for the people who are going to watch this, what was your inspiration to take this new adventure and build this whole program?
Well, it was actually a friend of mine that kept saying, come on out and try my bike. He had a Ninja 300, and it was Phil Hodgson of HB Cycle. And my husband still says, well, I can't say it on the screen, but has a nickname for Phil, for getting me back into road racing, because I took one ride on that Ninja 300. And it was like giving a beer to an alcoholic. I after not riding road racing for 20 years, my husband and I were doing a lot of off-road events, and I just realized how much I missed it. And then I started looking around the pit, and I noticed everyone was kind of old like me. So I was like, how's this sport going to survive if everyone's aging out? So I thought, well, you know, like every sport, you need young kids coming in. So then I started looking on the internet to see what other countries are doing. And everywhere I looked, even Western Canada had mini road racing clubs. And there wasn't anything in Ontario at the time. And there had been, you know, spurts and stops and starts of it over the years, pocket bikes and YSR 50 and 80s running in the 90s. But there was nothing for kids. It was all adults that were on those bikes before. So I thought, well, I got to start up a school. And my brother and I had a dirt bike school back in the early 90s. We ran it for most of the 90s, an off-road school where you could come out, we'd dress you head to toe, get you on a dirt bike, teach you how to ride it if you didn't know how, and then we would go for a ride in the woods. And I thought, why don't I do the same recipe for road racing? So you could come out and you can, we'll dress you head to toe, we'll put you on a road race bike, and we'll teach you how to do the sport on a go-kart track.
Wow. So that's part of it, but then you did a bigger step, which was to really launch and bring the FIM MiniGP to Canada.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. Like, what is that for people who aren't familiar with it?
My search on the internet also showed me that a lot of other countries were involved in this FIM MiniGP World Series, which started in 2021. And so I thought, well, why doesn't Canada have this? Why isn't Canada involved in it? So I thought, well, what do we need to do? So from a school, you need to go to a provincial series, some kind of racing that you can get used to, you know, shoulder to shoulder competition, and then have a national series all across Canada that will qualify us for the World Series. So I started writing to the FIM and Dorna and O'Valley and to see how I could accomplish this.
Cool. Now, 2023 was the first official season for the Canadian Series.
Yeah.
How'd it go?
Well, yeah, you're right, Patrick. In 2022, I ran a mock series.
Okay.
So I just ran by the FIM rules as if I had the stamp of approval and the affiliation, but I didn't at that time. And then in 2023, we rolled out the official series, and Colin Fraser from CSBK has been a big supporter since day one. And he and I went out to Spain in 2022 to see what was going on, and we watched the World Series, and we're like, wow, okay, we know what we need to do. We need to do this, this, and this. So we got home, and he's been a great source of you know, knowledge. He's ran the CSBK for over 40 years. So he's been a really good source of knowledge to, get this thing going. And 2023 in February, I think it was, I got the okay, let's go. So then we rolled it out.
And then the champion this year was for 23?
So we had two champs that went to Spain, first and second place. It was Michael Galvis from Richmond Hill. He's alumni of our race series, the Mini SBK series that we launched, and the Supersonic Road Race School. And then also Ben Hardwick. He's from Northern Ontario, and he is alumni of Supersonic School. Probably has come to the most Supersonic schools of any student.
Yeah. And
when he came to us, he was a ski racer. And so he was trying to do all the corners like he was going around ski, gates.
Yeah.
And so he's now right now, he's riding Red Bull's Rookies Cup motorcycle over in Spain, training for the winter.
Super cool.
After running in the FIM MiniGP World Series, he got the attention of some people there, and now he's over there doing it. So we're so proud.
That's
so
awesome.
Proud. Yeah.
So when you took these kids to Spain this year, what was, like, I know you'd been and seen it before, but now taking these kids there, what was the experience like for them and for you?
Oh, and the whole team. Like, I've had so many people come up to me and say, how can I help? And so a lot of guys that I raced with back in the 80s have stepped forward and said, how can I help? And we went over there with 11 Team Canada people. We had the biggest team there, and we're all wearing Team Canada shirts and jackets, and everybody's mind was just blown. It was just over the top, and it was eye-opening, educational, and Michael and Ben have set the benchmark for all the Canadian kids to follow.
Fantastic. So if there are people who want to get involved, they want their kids to learn to road race, they want to come out themselves, experience it, where do they find you online?
You can reach out to me through the supersonicschool.com, and it doesn't matter where you are in Canada. I can hook you up with a local club. Just be prepared to drive a couple hours, and we'll get you hooked up with a club or a racing series that you can get started.
Cool. And then before we go, do you want to send some love to some of these sponsors who are up here behind us?
Yeah. The support, again, is not just from the road racing community, it's from the industry. I've worked in the industry for a long time, over 40 years, and a lot of these people that you see on the board behind me came to me and said, I like what you're doing and I'd really like to be involved. And I've got others that aren't listed there because they're helping with the Supersonic School and the Mini SBK series. So as far as they go, we've got DP Brakes and Brooklyn Cycle and GP Bikes. Oh my gosh, the list goes on and on. Bickle Racing. It's just been incredible, the community, the racing community, and the industry helping us with this project. So I can't be more thankful.
Well, thank you for your time, and thank you for putting all this together. And as always, a pleasure.
Yes, and thanks for coming to the East, Patrick.
To the
Good to see you
Toronto.
always.
Yeah, thank you so much.